Welcome back, everyone. This is THN, the Healing Network, and you are listening to your host, Chelsea T. I am coming back today with another episode, and I want to get into this TikTok sensational star that is probably old news to most of you, but it's new news to me. And once I saw and heard a little bit more about her and did a little bit of investigation for myself, you might know her as this young, beautiful, talented in the kitchen. We're going to talk about cooking with Kaya. And I don't know if you've heard of her. If you have not heard of her, you will find her on TikTok. She is a very popular streamer who has made it from having her own sort of anthem. She is best known for singing Cooking with Kaya. And let's just get into it. So before we get started with who this girl is and why I want to talk about her, I want to bring and highlight why I'm bringing her up. I believe she's very relatable. Kaya is living and experiencing real-time behaviors that many of us as adults, or whether we were in our late teens, early 20s, some of us in our 30s, it doesn't matter the age, we can all have a moment of time where we might have either ran into a situation like this or have even lived a situation like this. And so this is why I want to bring her up. But you guys know that TNH is about bringing a different perspective. So I'm going to bring up the typical points, of course, but it's just going to be a little different because I think Kaya has a bright future ahead, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. So let's just get into it. Before I play this clip, just so we can get a little background of why she transitioned from this super big TikTok star who had this really nice brand of, cooking in the kitchen, doing a little shaking of she knew how to draw in the attention. And so because of that, most of her, viewership were men. So that's not really a big deal to me, but I guess as she continued her career, she did start releasing products, books, and etc. And this is where this, disconnect came for support in terms of who was supporting her, what was the public opinion about her. And when you look at the census, it was the men loved her and the women didn't like it, but they didn't bash her. And so there was a lot of back and forth on the internet. Like, if a woman did make a negative comment, she was seen as a hater. Like, oh, you're just hating on this really pretty girl. And then some girls would come in trying to defend her, I guess. Like, don't hate on Kaya. She's just doing her thing. So there was these very interesting opinions that women were trying to, support her in this weird way of just saying like, hey, we're not going to bash her. That was the census that I got when I looked at, how everyone felt about Kaya. And so I'm going to play this clip because this is why I decided to make this episode. I just want to play this clip about the issue with her male-driven audience. Because she has that, appeal for just them, I just want to break down kind of what her viewership or maybe audience is. And then I'm going to play a clip of, she's a young girl in a relationship. And when I heard this breakdown, crash out, that's the word now, let me keep up, this crash out with Kaya, I said, we have to talk about this because what she's experiencing, I am shocked that no one's in her life to kind of get her out of this, but it also shows a lot about her past history. So let's get into it. We're going to play this clip that is just kind of reminding us what kind of audience Kaya is dealing with. Okay?
Get to the twerking part. It don't even look like it no more. It don't look good.
Y'all know nigga don't be giving no fuck. Get to the part that's good.
Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya.
Y'all need the gym.
So I am so glad that this content creator, his information is below, because I think he did a really good job just kind of explaining, the situation of Kaya and how she is kind of heading in the wrong direction. And this clip right here really just displayed that even though women will say, oh, men are really nice to me and they, respect me most of the time, this clip, and this was just, one of many instances of her main audience who, at the end of the day, even though she may love cooking and she may really be passionate about this, they are coming to gaze at her. Okay.
I'm not male-centered. However, males are very nice to me, and for the most part, most males respect me.
So right there, once she ended that, males are really nice to me and most of the time they respect me, that let me know right away that she has a hard time finding friends. She is very beautiful, so I am sure she gets a lot of like, oh, she thinks she's all that, or she's doing things for attention, but it lets me know that she is kind of lacking that balance of friendship and maybe even motherhood, maybe even, whether it doesn't have to be your mom, you can have aunts and different type of energy from women that give you that same sense of, well, women are nice to me too. So as soon as I heard that comment of her, kind of specifying like, I'm not, my content is not male-centered, they're just really nice to me, it just is highlighting the direction of her mindset, kind of where she is right now. And I can tell she's masking a lot of her pain. So this was a very interesting point that I just wanted to stop and point out, that when someone says that and lacks that other side of, okay, well, what were your experiences with women? You kind of get that red flag sensor of, something's up. Something is up. You can see the straight, I'm just here to look at you, that lust, and they're just leaving it at that. And so, there's nothing wrong with it. She's getting paid for the content, so you want people to view, so you've mastered that audience and you're getting them back and back. So I'm not mad at that. That's a great business plan. But my fear for her is to not have healthy boundaries, to separate that this is just your business right here, and you don't want any type of man talking to you like that in your real life. You don't want any kind of man dealing with you like that in your real life. And so now I'm gonna play a clip that has, broken the internet. And this was the sad part, because a lot of her male audiences who are only, looking at her for gazing, they ate her up. They were like, girl, we don't want to hear it. Get back to the kitchen and clap the cheeks. Pretty much. Like, this is what the people were demanding her. So I'm going to just play this clip. Like I said, Kaya I think she's doing really good for herself. She started off on TikTok. I believe she might have always been a streamer, but I know she now definitely streams. And so she has an audience base. But my goodness, this video really just struck a nerve with me. It just struck me to the point where I said, I just want to make an episode that addresses this. There's so many young girls out there, especially right now, who are more beautiful than ever before. And so it seems that the young girls don't get the correlation that you can be the most beautiful girl in the world and still get disrespected. And so we're not telling you to stop being beautiful, but we are encouraging you ladies to gain other skills to eliminate this constant cycle of partners who are terrible to us or terrible to you. And so You know, it's not just beautiful girls who deal with this. Women deal with this, and we have to build strength to decipher and discern who is really here for us, who is showing us genuine love. You know, we're deciphering, okay, maybe I'm acting out in a past event that, you know, marked me, so now I'm on high alert, and you're able to reflect and reconsider. But this clip that we're about to review, she is not, let's just get into it. I'm not even going to chop it up. Let's just get right to the clip, and we'll go from there.
Not her boyfriend who lived with her and who doesn't pay any bills or doesn't have any ambition. Here, watch and let's talk.
So the internet is going crazy because when she made this live stream, we have discovered that this boyfriend of hers that she is dating, and she's going to break it down, although she has all this going on with her career and her business, this guy that she is with is so apparently unmatched for her. Everyone who hears this live stream, seen the video, seen the clip, we're all looking like, what are you doing? So that is, and I want to state, because I think that is so common, you know, when you get that boyfriend that no one likes, and everyone's telling you that this is the wrong choice and all that good stuff. And everyone tells us that when you are in that situation, everyone's coming at you, telling you to leave. Everyone also tells you that because they're given that negative pressure, it actually enforces the person to stay with that partner. And it's, you know, so strange. I think when the people around you are sharing those negative opinions, they are wholeheartedly trying to help. But I don't understand why we continue to help in that way because it doesn't work. And this is so clear because, again, when everyone saw this live stream, immediately they're like, Kaya, he has no ambition. He is lame. He is not on your level. Girl, what are you doing? Yeah. So let's get into it.
So I'm not going to tell all his business because that would be, you know, that would be me being a bad person. Like, I'm not like that. So I'm not going to tell all his business, but long story short, something happened in Texas to where...
And I have to pause because that's my number one. When someone starts off with a long story short, that lets me know that you're trying to remove all of the things that are maybe too hard to talk about, maybe embarrassing. You might even feel a little shameful or guilty about it. And so immediately, as soon as she started this live stream, I was like, this girl's about to really expose what's really going on with her mindset. Because as soon as she's about to open up about what she's gotten into, we're going to see all these flags of, ooh, that's what she ignored. That's what she skipped by. That's what she didn't deal with. So let's get into it. Do we do this? I do it. I've done it. I've lived this. I cannot make these videos and not live it. I think that's what we're kind of discovering about all this, you know, podcast, YouTube, all these live streams. Our experience is coming, our knowledge is coming from the experience. There we go. So Kaya girl, I got my popcorn and tea, and I am kicking back as your auntie, getting ready to help you through this because you are not alone. Don't you dare feel alone. You are not alone, Kaya.
He had to come live with me, and we only really knew each other for a month. But I felt bad. Well, not even live with me. He was like, okay, he was gonna stay with me for a little bit, and then he was like, oh yeah, next week I'm gonna get a place out here in LA, because he was like, he said he wanted to move out to LA anyway, so he could be with me. That's what he said.
So we're just going to spot the obvious. You know, everyone always says, oh, 1 month, you've moved way too fast. But what does this really mean for the person when they meet that partner and it happens really quick. What is that stage? I think that stage is the first sign if you are trying to break through your trauma. That stage right there where you have met someone and you're feeling head over heels. Everything seems fine. You're talking all the time. You may be in constant communication or contact, like you guys may be seeing each other all the time, and it feels instant and natural. And so I love that people say like, "Oh my gosh, that's way too soon," but let's give credit to why these people move that quick. And so I'm stating this as a sign for if you're trying to heal. I'm not necessarily telling you like, oh my gosh, leave this person right away if you are, jumping that fast. I do want you to recognize that if that is you, let yourself be okay with knowing that, wow, I really did want to be with someone. Wow, I really do want to be loved. And this feeling is so exciting. It's so refreshing. It should give you courage that if this does not work out, love is out there. And because you're experiencing this love right now, I would encourage you to try to slow it down. And so as soon as I hear this, if I was your auntie, now I'm talking to Kaya in the third person, right? If I was your auntie Kaya and you had called me 2 weeks into this, I would have let you have all those giddy feelings and excitement, and I would have recommended like, I am happy for you, girl. Can you try to slow down to really savor this and enjoy it? Really remind her to ask other questions. As she's just started talking, they're like already talking about moving in, and he wants to be with her. So of course she's feeling that really delicious love bomb, super wanted. And I mean, come on, this girl has been getting, male audience. Probably 70-80% of her content is men who, like we have witnessed before, talk to her probably super crazy. So I know that this guy who, she's talking about, he's, what is it? Sweet talking the pants off her at this point. And not in the degrading, oh girl, I'm just trying to spend the night. No, he's future faking and promising, the world. So, oh, Kaya, my heart is for you, girl, because this is a tough spot to be in. No one can, stop you from doing this. We definitely want you to do better. But I just want to relate that we understand. I think this is what makes it so relatable, because when you break it down like that, we've had a moment in our lives like that. Whether it was in, 8th grade or high school, college, you could have been 25 and that was your first experience. It happens. So give the girl some grace. My goodness. Let's go, Kaya. What else you got? Did he move in, girl?
So, if y'all think I'm lying, I have receipts. There's nothing to lie about. He knows the truth. That's why I told him. I was like, are you sure you want to talk? Because if you want to talk, we're going to tell the whole thing. Yeah, he's nobody like who y'all think he is. He's not like... So, he was supposed to stay with me for a little bit, and y'all, I didn't mind it because he had already stayed for a few weeks. So I'm like, okay, another week or two is fine. That's cool. A week turned into 2. 2 turned into a month. A month turned into 4 months. And months. And eventually, like I said, we were never even boyfriend and girlfriend. I had met him for 1 month, and we were living together for months, okay? Don't get me wrong.
So I just have to stop it because now I'm seeing the next issue from, the results of moving in. She has definitely felt under the pressure of his love bombing. And so now he is going into his second stage, which is taking away all that stuff in terms of, I'm sure he was talking about seriousness. I want to be your man and we're going to do this. I'm going to get a spot here and blah, blah, blah. But then in the next statement, she says, all of a sudden he's moved in. It's a couple weeks turned into a couple of months, but we're not together. So we're hearing these, it sounds as if, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, it was just going to be 2 weeks. Now it's 4 months. He knows that you didn't set any type of I'm not even going to say standard. You didn't put a boundary into, okay, you can come with me, but it's only going to be for this amount of time. And then you have to stand on it. You have to stand on it. There is nothing in between. So right there, once he's seen that you could, 3 weeks, now he's, baby, it's open season. How long can I stay now? And so if I was auntie and she called me and she said, oh my gosh, auntie, he's been here for 2 months. Like, he's been here for 2 months. I don't know how to get him out. Because that's how she's going to call. She's not going to tell us the story of like, auntie, I had let him, like I said he could stay for 2 weeks, but no, that would not have been the call. She's only telling us this now because the situation has gone way past this. But at that time, if she would have called my auntie hotline, I would have told her that it is time to learn this big girl lesson and put these sexy panties on. And we're going to hold this boundary and we're going to hold it solid. And when you hold the boundary solid, even if he walks away, you're going to feel good that you did it. And it may take a little bit for you to recognize, because sometimes we've been in our trauma for that long that even when we do the things that are best for us, the trauma, because we haven't been able to be ourselves, be authentic, feel safe, because of that, we may feel bad for standing on the things that are best for us. So, Kaya, where's your mom? Where's your sisters? And that's my problem with cooking with Kaya. You can clearly tell that the support that is needed for any human being, period, as a woman, you need support. You need people to be there. And we have all these layers, right? Because I'm a Black woman. I'm not going to stop saying that. So I do understand that as our culture who developed a system of this is okay now for us to be these independent people, these are the things that go missing when we choose that lifestyle. And I'm not saying that, what's the other lifestyle? You got to be married with kids. I'm not saying that, but let's not glorify this one type of behavior of independence and make it seem as if there are no negative effects. You're not going to tell me all of the negative effects of being married and then tell me that singlehood has no flaws. We're not going to do that. So that I just wanted to bring that up, that I get, she's telling her story now, so she's going to be a little bit more candid because those situations have passed. So it is what it is. She said 2 weeks, but it ended up being 4 months. And who knows? It may be even longer. We still have a few minutes left to see where this goes. But, geez, Kaya, my heart goes out to you, girl. I mean, I'm not too negative about it. I think she's young and she will grow from this for sure. But I hope it is the quick direction and not the trick direction. And what do I mean by the trick direction? When you think you've confronted like something and then you go down the line of life and then it brings itself back to you again, that same issue, that same problem, you're like, oh, guess I need to try a different approach. So that's what I mean by, I hope it's not the trick way. I hope you chose the quick way, which is putting on those sexy panties, holding on these boundaries. So many places you can go, Kai, and get that help. We're here for you. THN is here for you.
I really did like him. I'm not saying I didn't never have feelings or nothing for him, because why would I let him live with me to this day, he lives with me, okay? Not no more. He got to go to the mama house. Or hopefully now he could go to his place. I don't know. like I said, we were just talking, and the plan was never for him to live with me, okay? The plan was never for him to live with me. I wanted him to have his own place. I have my place, and I could go to your house, you come to my house. But I understood his circumstances, so me being the real person I am, I stuck by his side, like, during times, like, other girls probably would have been like, no, okay?
Okay, so I have to stop it here because this is the issue with the strong independent. And so, unfortunately, even though she has accomplished all these things for herself, it is so natural for you to still want partnership and still want, to be in a relationship and all that good stuff. And so this is where the confusion comes in. And that's why I had made a statement about her independentness. And I don't think anyone's wrong for wanting a relationship. But the issue is are you scared to say that you want relationship? Because for you to make that, and we'll hear her kind of hop back and forth about her boundaries. And so I get what she's trying to say, meaning she does not want this man to live with her, live off her. They don't know each other. This is too soon, and she knows it. Which is why she's trying to express, hey, just get your own stuff, get yourself together. And in the next statement, you'll hear her say, like, I know most or other girls wouldn't have stayed with you because your stuff is not together, but I'm not like that. That's the red flag. And I'm saying that's a red flag because women can go into situations trying to invest like that. To me, that's an investment that men do. A man was known to wait for a girl or, build up with a girl or, okay, she has this, it doesn't matter. She can, grow in 5 years and make more money. That is what men used to do. And so I'm not saying it's an issue if women want to do that or if women move in that way, but that does not seem like that's the choice Kaya is trying to make. So, I mean, I'm not saying she's rich, but she can afford her place, she can afford her bills, and afford her lifestyle. And so, of course, logical reason is, okay, Kaya, like, get someone who also has the affordability, to take care of himself and afford his lifestyle. But she didn't do that. And so, hopefully she kind of explains a little bit more so we can gauge why she's oh gosh, I'll try to say the word susceptible. There we go. Why she's susceptible to this relationship. And I think we will be able to pinpoint it, but let's continue.
Understood his circumstances, so me being the real person I am, I stuck by his side, like, during times, like, other girls probably would have been like, no, okay? So, no, I wasn't doing stuff like him yet at the time. Before he met me, he was streaming and getting his money in ways, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, while he was staying with me, like, I was telling him, like, you need to start, like, streaming, like, well, actually, at the time, y'all, I didn't have a PC. And his PC, no, he did bring his PC, but he didn't hook it up. I think he ended up taking his PC to his mom's house. At the time, I kept telling him, like, I understand, like, right now, you not, like, in a good place, and I was trying to be there for him as much as possible. But eventually, after months, especially with us not being boyfriend and girlfriend, after months of me doing, like, pretty much everything for us, I kind of got fed up. But eventually, as a woman, you get frustrated when you have a man and you feel like he, like, ain't doing nothing really. So I was telling him, like, you need to start streaming. I got to the point where I told him, let me establish myself in my career and you go establish yourself, and then and we can still be together. I never said we couldn't be together. I said, just go establish yourself. Get something going for yourself, like something consistent, at least stream. That's what I kept telling him. I was like, just stream, do something, you know, just establish yourself. Because if I'm up here and you down here, and I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm just saying, like, we need to be, I feel like a good couple should be on the same.
So right there when she said, I'm not saying that's what it is, you're in denial. Because that is what it is, and all of us sees it. So anytime I see someone like that, this is why I don't understand why we're bashing her. Clearly, her mental state cannot handle what's happening. She literally just said, look, I don't mind being a ride or die, right? I know other girls wouldn't do this, but I'm willing to do this. Women tell us not to do this because it brings bitterness. And how does it bring bitterness? Because as time goes by with a man who does not have intentions on getting himself together for real, it creates this classic, he's not doing anything. Like, what are you doing? He's not doing anything. That's what she just said. And it becomes this slow building up of anger and what the heck did I get into? So I know at some point Kaya will get it. But right now, just off of that, you know, I'm not saying that's what it is. She's still, you know, figuring out, trying to accept what's going on, whatever stage of the 5 processes she is in. But this is why we tell other women, and I think more today rather than before, is it becomes a dangerous game when it's that person relying on you. We already are in a new world where this is women are just getting well-paying jobs. I mean, hasn't even been, is it 50, 100 years that we've been able to vote? Like, let's be realistic. And so I don't mind anyone who wants to go to life and approach it in a different way, dynamic that is beyond what's prescribed in America, right? Beyond the traditional form. But when we go about these non-traditional forms, these are the silent things that when a woman is 50, 60, she'll tell you quick, oh girl, I'm not doing da-da-da, I'm not, don't, And it's because of these experiences that she wasn't able to put up certain boundaries. She's having this guy who is constantly stepping on her, and she can see that he's not trying to do anything. She doesn't have the strength to step up and say, you know what, I'm done with this, because it feels like love. Why do people stay in stuff like this? It feels like love to her, even though she's, you know, clearly letting us know that she's frustrated. She's not agreeing to what's happening and what's going on. And that's why I say it is now we are getting a little bit of knowledge of her home life and her background and where she came from. Because as soon as she says that, you know, I'm not saying that's not what it is, but, you know, we're not on the same page. It just lets me know that you have a tolerance to deal with this. It's not that you are like you're deserving of this. No, ma'am, I don't think she is purposely trying to hurt herself. But I do think this is showing some of the drama, trauma, hurt, whatever you want to call it, certain things that have happened in her life. She has definitely pressed through to be able to start business. But now those things that she may not have been able to address, she may have suppressed. Whatever the case may be, it's coming up in her personal life. And so, oh, Kaya, my heart goes out to you, girl, for real, because it's no fun. I mean, it's no fun. It's no fun.
Level, or maybe the man should be like a little bit higher than the woman. Woman, you get frustrated when you have a man and you feel like he ain't doing nothing really. So I was telling him, like, you need to start streaming. I got to the point where I told him, let me establish myself in my career, and you go establish yourself, and then and we can still be together. I never said we couldn't be together. I said, just go establish yourself. Get something going for yourself, like something consistent, you know? at least stream. That's what I kept telling him. I was like, just stream, do something, you know, just get.
So, she does. You can tell she doesn't want to leave the situation because she's constantly reassuring him that she's not trying to look down on him, or she's not trying to, leave him. And so it's just showing all of the boundaries that weren't displayed to her, in her upbringing, to put a stop to this. So I feel like as she's talking, you can really hear how she, in her perspective, does not know what to do. So, like, even though we can keep saying, oh, girl, she just has to put a boundary in terms of, like, whether it's how long he stays or when he gets a job or what he's doing, month by month, whatever type of check-in that you need, she's not even comfortable to set that up. And so now we're just at that flat line of he's just not doing anything. I mean, I'm telling him to stream. I'm telling him to cut the grass by the next door neighbor. I'm telling him to start selling t-shirts. She's doing all she knows. She's literally giving all she knows. And so I think that is the hardest part. And hopefully this shows that she's, like I said, at the end of the stage and she gets to choose the quick way, not the trick way, because this is not going, like, we know this is not going to be resolved when they're together. I think I'm going to conclude that this young man, I'm sure, is not trying to use her, but he does not know himself another way of going about life without relying on a woman heavily. And so, again, I don't believe any of these two are at fault, but I do believe these two have to address their unhealed, the drama that keeps replaying in their lives that makes them feel justified to move like this. They have to address it, because if they don't, Kaya is going to keep taking care of this man. And if he doesn't address his issues, he's going to keep being taken care of by a woman, and he's not going to be happy about it. And it's just going to lead to cheating and all this power dynamics of fighting for control, because the traditional way that they're both saying that they want, right? She's saying she wants to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I believe in the beginning of their love bombing stage, he was saying that he wanted to come for her and be there for her. So clearly he wants a traditional relationship as well, but they're just not using the right tactics to go about it. And life is trying to force them to say either learn some new skills or this is going to continue to be a hot mess. So I think that wraps up this Cooking with Kaya. That's why I did this episode today, because I just feel like that's very relatable. At the end of the day, whether that was your young past and you can relate to it, or you may be going through that right now, there is no shame. Like, that is the last thing that I'm trying to do. If I'm bringing you shame and guilt, oh my gosh, please turn it off. Come back another day. Come back another time where it doesn't feel that way and you feel supported, because I think that's what, they both lack, the support that they need to find the new tools and actually put it into action. And so, Kaya, girl, you are beautiful. You are on the rise, and you're streaming, and I don't know if she's still doing Cooking with Kaya, but I'm sure she can, spin something off with that. But we all hope you leave this man. But because we're being so negative, I'm sure you won't. So instead of telling you to leave him, please work on some new ways to gain those boundaries, which are just things that help you stay aligned and be aligned with your goals. And it sounds like you want a boyfriend. So you are beautiful, girls. Or I should say you're super cute, because you're so young. You're super cute. She's beautiful. But we want you to do better. So we hope that Auntie can maybe do another episode down the line where, she met this awesome guy and they are doing great. But we're going to see. I'm going to play the rest of this to see if there's any good clips. And if so, we'll edit that in and all that good stuff and go from there.
Just establish yourself. because if I'm up here and you down here, and I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm just saying, like, we need to be, I feel like a good couple should be on the same level, or maybe the man should be like a little bit higher than the woman.
It's hypergamy talk. And I don't know why you think you get to engage in hypergamy and discussion around hypergamy.
And I maybe I need to do a separate video about that. Or maybe I should say, I one day will do an episode about that hypergamy. And oh my gosh, Kevin Samuels, oh yeah, I definitely have to do an episode, because whew, I love him, but you'll be surprised to know why. But this is religious talk. No, I'm not religious. This is the Lord's talk, because I just believe. I'm just a believer. I believe I'm a sinner. So please don't crucify me. When we hear that, like, hypergamy and all that taking over the nation, I think hypergamy is now turning to like the soft girl era. So I think it's the same thing. But my issue with that is you guys are making it seem like you can choose to take care of a woman and then you can choose not to. And I just think that's insane. I don't care whether someone's paying 100% of the bills or y'all doing 50-50. Please do not take out the care. We are human beings. And I think that hypergamy soft girl era which is current right now, that's the danger of it. It's giving you this distinction that you can see one girl as, oh yeah, she deserves that hypergamy life, and then see another girl and say, I'll do 50-50 with her. And when you approach it that way, you're also saying that this person who you're willing to do more for, you're also going to take better care. But the person that you're willing, I'll just do 50-50, there's going to be a lot of things missing in that. And you're purposely doing that. That's sickness. But another day, another episode. Like I said, we're going to see if our girl Kaya said anything else to that live stream. I don't think that she did. No, that was it. Okay, perfect. So we are going to wrap it up. The conclusion. Kaya, I think she's doing great. She's so young, and I think she has a lot ahead of her, especially with girls who relate to her content, because there are girls who relate to her, even if they aren't, I should say, reposting or doing her type of content. Because once Kaya came out with that type of content, a lot of other women came out with that kind of content. So they do relate to her with, using that desire and able to use the lust to kind of keep you coming back. That has always been a thing. I don't think that's ever going to disappear. So we're not saying that. But I love that Kaya has kind of opened up and allowed us to get into her personal life. And because she's so young, we can kind of see these, what we say, boundaries or lack thereof, or simple things that we can say, Kaya, if you just do this, stuff will change dramatically. Nevertheless, none of us can force anyone to change. She has to want to do that on her own. And so maybe, all of the response to this stream and just her relationship in general, it may encourage her to do something different. So that was my different perspective of her. And I just wanted to show her love and compassion, a little mercy, because she's so young. Like I said, she's very beautiful. She had this super quick rise to stardom. I just remember one day hearing about Cooking with Kaya, and I didn't stop hearing about that girl. So, she's had a lot of shift and change going on. Shoot, I just hope that you don't allow this one situation, because it is so easy for it to happen. Even with all these other positive things going on, this one situation could tear your mind up, because if you do want to break through, trauma, it doesn't help to keep reliving and reinforcing that our trauma is actually still alive. So, we may have had that hard life. That's why I kept referencing her environment and how she grew up. We may have had those experiences, and I don't knock anyone for feeling angry or mad or whatever you feel about it. But the issue does come up when we now transition to adulthood and we continue these same behaviors, trying to protect ourselves from either re-entering something that we experienced at home. And that makes perfect sense. But what we learn in adulthood is that, oh, these coping methods are not as good as I thought. And that's nothing wrong with that. When we were kids, when we were young, it's nothing wrong with loving your parents who were treating you, terribly. That's like we are human beings. Like, that is what kids do. If y'all, people love to talk about, okay, we're animals. Even dogs who get treated poorly still love their owners. It's a natural thing. But we are human beings. I think we're above animals, but let me not get too deep into that. If we have the capability to choose, even though we may have gone through something negative that really hurt us and harmed us, at some point in our lives, we do not get to justify doing that to someone else. That's when it becomes, okay, now you're the predator, or now you are purposely doing this to harm people, and it's not okay. And so I just hope that Kaya is able to get through this situation without too much harm or damage, and she's able to still, keep her love, still be in a positive mindset. And I hope she is able to learn from this. That will be even better if you are able to leave a situation on your will. Don't cut off someone because of what they did. Leave someone because you are learning that, oh, I'm doing something that I don't want to do anymore. This will help me and my boundaries. And that way, when you do cut them off, you're really willing to stand for it, because you're not doing it because of them. You're doing it for yourself. So I hope that, the situation doesn't harm her too bad. Let's speak 2025. I hope 2026 she got a new man. Okay? So 2026, I hope to hear about Kaya's new boyfriend, or maybe even, we're not going to rush her for marriage. My personal opinion, 25 and under is too young. We are too young. I think 25 is a good age to start saying, yep, 26, you could get married at 26, because you've lived a little, and depending on where you are in your journey of healing what you've been through, you may be really self-aware, and shoot, you go ahead, girl. But I find that 18 to 24, that group of people who decide to either follow God or just they simply want to get married, there's so much change that happens in that stage of life as young adults. They just realize, not for negative reasons, but hey, this is not the best pick or the best choice. And then it gets really difficult. You don't want to leave because you made this commitment. It gets messy. But that's life, right? Life is super messy. So, Kaya, don't feel too bad. Life is so crazy, girl. I hope you got a lot of coins from that stream, because the people were frying her. Internet is just so ruthless, but we know people are not like that in real life, so don't worry about it, Kaya. So that is gonna wrap up this episode today, Cooking with Kaya. I am so glad we got a chance to break this down. If you want to connect, if you have any questions, if you are like, girl, you are reading my life, what should I do? Can you give me a little advice? Send me an email. It's aathenewway@gmail.com. That's AATHENEWWAY @gmail. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, re-listen. If it's reading you, please re-listen, because what I find, if I am listening to something and it really is sticking to me, I'll listen to it again, because whatever keeps hitting me, I'll write that down. And then, oh my gosh, I'll see that, I'll call it a trigger point. I'll see that trigger point in my real life, and I get to really find new ways to attack it so that I am moving in life in ways that really support me. So QMeHealth.club. I am small business, very personal. So if you're not sure, when you look at all the products and you're like, where do I go? Where do I start? Just send me an email, thataa@gmail.com. And I'd love to help you. This is what THN is healed. It's time to go. This is what THN is here for, the Healing Network. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Chelsea T. If you want to see more about me, like literal pictures, I am on IG. I have my body page because hello, health activist. So you can check that out at my handle, AP_Queen Me. If you want to run my likes up, please go ahead. Let's do this. But until the next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. And like always, take care. It's the least we can do.